Hey everybody, Motorpoet 59 here. This isn't going to be a very long video, so it doesn't need to be, but I want to talk a little bit about single issue voters. Now, the issue is irrelevant, and which side of the issue you stand on is irrelevant. If you are voting for a candidate or whatever on one issue, then I think you're doing yourself a great disservice, and even democracy, because we're supposed to vote based on what is best for the country, not what's best for ourselves. And my personal opinions about things don't really, they shouldn't be the only factor on which I use to vote. And it never is. I have voted many times for Republicans with whom I didn't agree on everything. I mean, hey, I didn't agree with Ronald Reagan on everything. I didn't agree with Donald Trump on everything, but that didn't stop me from voting for them because they represented the best interests of the country in the long run. And it's the same with state candidates, state offices, local, county, city, whatever. The long-term, what's long-term best is what I should be focusing on. It's what you should be focusing on as well, not just one issue. And as I said, it doesn't matter what the issue is. There are plenty of issues out there that I have seen people vote on one issue. I remember during Bill Clinton's, when he was first elected, there were women who voted for him for the single reason that they thought he was good looking. I mean, come on, man. Not only should you not be a single issue voter, you certainly shouldn't be a superficial issue voter, because whether someone's good looking or not has absolutely nothing to do with their ability to do the job for which they were elected to do. I always dig into things. Judgeships. I dug into judgeships in this last election for the state. Some of the state judges, who appointed them, when were they appointed, what were some of the records. I didn't do a deep dive because generally, especially over the last 20 years, if you see a judge who was appointed by a liberal or a judge who was appointed by a conservative, you know that that judge leans that way. It didn't used to be that way. Eisenhower appointed Earl Warren. Earl Warren was a liberal. Eisenhower always said it was the dumbest decision he made as a president. But that just goes to show you that it wasn't always so divided. I wish it wasn't today. I wish I could look at a roster of candidates in an election, and in a general election, and look at what each one of them represent, or at least say they represent, and make a decision based on that. But it's hard to do anymore. If you're like I am, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. Not today, not in this political climate. I'm just not going to do it, because I've seen plenty of them in the past that said they believed in this or they believed in that. Then they get elected, and that's not who they are or what they are at all. So I don't know. You need to do a little research. You need to dig through these people. But if you're a Democrat or a conservative and you are voting in the primaries, make sure that you're voting for the right person for the right reasons. And don't shut someone off because they have one point of view that differs from yours. That is extremely selfish and self-centered. And it does no one any good. I mean, hey, you may end up with a pretty decent candidate if you do that, but it won't be because everybody else felt the same way you did about that one issue. It will mostly be because people have taken the time to look in to what these people actually represent. So remember that when the next election comes around. And it's the same thing with propositions. There are many reasons that I voted no on almost every proposition this time. And I always vote no on bond issues because those always involve raising taxes. And it doesn't, you can go into the texts of these propositions and it doesn't take you very long to figure out if that is a BS proposition or if it's something that actually might do some good. And most of them just don't do much good anymore. They're all a lot of talk with a bunch of pork barrel issues tied to them. And I'll let them hash that out somewhere else. All right. That's all I got to say. What do you think about single issue voting? Are you a single issue voter, or does it annoy you the way it annoys me? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and we'll see you all later.